From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. A civil liberties group is putting its full weight behind the fight against new bail and sentencing rules set to be introduced in legislation next week. The Liberal government is set to make bail more challenging to get for people accused of violent and organized crime. The Canadian Civil Liberties Association's Shakir Rahim says there's no evidence that bail release leads to further unlawful conduct. But the Federation of Canadian Municipalities is praising the announcement, calling bail reform a critical step toward addressing public safety. Meanwhile, Ottawa is expected to lay out its plans to further strengthen border security today. During a tour of a border crossing facility in the Niagara region, Prime Minister Mark Carney will offer the update. The Liberal government split its border security bill this month, hoping to pass some measures quickly and give more time for scrutiny of more controversial ones. Those potential measures include expanding the Coast Guard's role on the front lines. The deadly 2020 crash of a tour bus at the Columbia Ice Field in Jasper National Park is the subject of a fatality inquiry which gets underway today.
3 people died and 14 others were seriously injured after the ice explorer lost control on a road leading to the Athabasca Glacier more than 5 years ago. RCMP didn't lay criminal charges, but the bus operator pleaded guilty to 2 charges under Alberta's Occupational Health and Safety Act for failing to mandate seatbelts and failing to control hazards. A fatality inquiry can't assign blame, but makes recommendations to prevent similar deaths. Bill Graveland, The Canadian Press, Jasper, Alberta.
It's day 2 of the health ministers' meeting in Calgary. Representing Ottawa, Marjorie Michel is set to meet today with her provincial and territorial counterparts who say they are looking for promises that Ottawa will boost healthcare funding in next month's budget. Michel's office says she's hoping to discuss interprovincial credential recognition for healthcare workers and pressing issues like mental health, addiction, and vaccination programs. The ministers are set to hold a news conference this afternoon. And finally, a military coup in Madagascar has led to a new ruler.
An army colonel who seized power in a military coup was sworn in as Madagascar's new leader on Friday. The lightning-fast power grab, led by Colonel Michael Radianirina, saw the ousting of Madagascar's president. Colonel Radianirina's ascent to the presidency came just 3 days after he announced that the armed forces were taking power in the island of Africa's east coast. The United Nations has condemned the military takeover as an unconstitutional change of government. The UN's Stefan Dujarric.
The Secretary-General condemns the unconstitutional change of government power in Madagascar and calls for the return to constitutional order and the rule of law.
The takeover, which came after 3 weeks of anti-government protests by mainly young people, led to Madagascar being suspended from the African Union. I'm Karen Shamas.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Jays are back at it in the American League Championship Series with Game 5 going in Seattle tonight. Toronto won 8-2 last night to tie the best-of-7 series at 2 games apiece. Looking forward, Kevin Gausman is set to start for the Jays, while the Mariners will send Bryce Miller to the mound. The Blue Jays will then host Game 6 on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Dodgers are poised to become the first defending champion to reach the World Series in 16 years. That's after beating the Milwaukee Brewers 3-1 to take a 3-0 lead in their best-of-7 National League Championship Series. It was also a busy night in the NHL. The Vancouver Canucks rallying from a 2-goal deficit to beat the Dallas Stars 5-3. New York Islanders pick up their first win of the season, defeating the Edmonton Oilers 4-2. Ottawa edged the Kraken 4-3. Winnipeg beat the Flyers 5-2. The Canadiens topped the Preds 3-2 in overtime. And the Leafs got by the Rangers 2-1. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.